morning, everyone. This is episode 5 of Passion Yarns, the podcast. My name is Debbie Forrester. We are a small independent dyeing company. I mean me. My husband does the heavy lifting, but I do all the other work. We hand dye high quality wools and wool blend yarns, and we sell those on our website at passionyarns.com. We've been doing this. We're just now 2 days ago is when I put my very first yarn up for sale on Etsy, and it's been a very fast 3 years, and I have loved every single second of it. We've made a lot of changes over the years. We've invested a lot of time and money into it, and we really love this. We're looking at this being our activity when we retire. We hope to be able to travel from show to show. That's our idea of fun, of being able to meet people and to share what it is that we love to do. Like I said, March is, we've just 3 years now. This month, March is our anniversary month, 3rd year in business. And I've had other small businesses before, and they didn't last this long, so I'm pretty excited about this. Of course, I could work during this one, whereas I couldn't do the other one. So that helps to make the bank look a little bit better. But we wanted to offer a celebratory coupon and sale on our website where you can get 20% off all the yarn. You want to use the coupon code 3rd year. Then there's details on that on our website at passionyarns.com. So go take a look, see what we have to offer, the beautiful yarns. I mean, you can see some of it that's around me right now. There's a lot more really gorgeous yarn and yarn blends that we have on our website. So I hope you'll check that out and see what you can find there that might be good for you. We have been working on preparing for shows, and I've been dyeing up some yarn, and I wanted to make some samples of our variegated yarns because it's hard to see what those yarns really look like if we're when they're in the skein. It's hard to see what they're going to look like when they're knit up and when they're in the skein. So we're making some sample skeins that we'll be giving at any of our shows. If you come to any of our shows and see us, let us know that you saw on our podcast that that was something that we were doing. But I wanted to just show you a little bit of some of the yarns that we have been dyeing up and the samples that we're going to have to offer and what those look like when they are knit up. So the first one that I wanted to show you, it is called Romeo. Romeo is a colorway that is brown and orange and turquoise and teal. Is kind of intended to be sort of fallish in the colors. This is what it looks like when it's knit up. And I did swatch this, and I washed it and dried it, laid it out, blocked it, and dried it. So this is what you would expect if you're going to be knitting your yarn on a size 2 needle. It would be sort of like this. So this is the colorway of what it looks like when it's knit up. These are the little mini skeins that we'll be giving away at our shows. I think those are so cute. And then this is what that particular skein of yarn looks like when it is skeined up in a full skein. So this is what you would see at one of our shows as well. So again, this one is called Romeo. It is brown, orange, turquoise, and teal combination. So that is that one. That's so pretty. The next one that I wanted to show you is, this one is called I Need You in My Life. Let me see, make sure I've got the right one here. This is this. So this colorway is blues and purples. I just think that is so pretty. And again, these are good. These are really good if you need to have a really highly variegated color in maybe a shawl or a hat or something that you're doing. So maybe combine it with the solid, and that would just look so pretty. So this is, again, I Need You in My Life. This is what our mini skein looks like. Again, these are just so doggone cute. That's the mini skein, and then here it is in a full-size skein. So I Need You in My Life. That's what this one is called. And then the last one that I wanted to show you is called The One I Love. This has got green and pink and yellow and blue, and then the combination of all of those colors together. Just think that they are so pretty. It's so colorful. And this would make a great hat for a kid. You'd be able to pick them out in a crowd, that's for sure. So this is The One I Love, and this is in the mini skein. Just so cute. And then here it is in the full-size skein. So again, this one is called The One I Love. Just so cute. So those are three of the mini colorways that we've been working on, getting ready for the shows. And we're really excited about that happening. I'll share a little bit about that. I just wanted to make a note real quick that the person who won our January free skein, Sandra K. If you're watching, please contact me at passionyarns@gmail.com so that we can take a look and make sure that we get that skein out for you. I haven't heard anything from her yet, so I hope if anybody knows Sandra K. and she signed up for a free skein of yarn on the website, please have her get a hold of me at passionyarns@gmail.com. So our shows, our first show is coming up in April. It is April 17th and 18th. This is a Friday and Saturday show. This event is called the Fiber Event at Greencastle. In Greencastle, Indiana, it is at the Putnam County Fairgrounds. I've not personally been to this show before, but this is their 28th season that they've been putting on this show. They have over 80 vendors, so if you're in the area, this is, or even if you have to drive a little bit of time, this is definitely a really good show to go to. And you're not going to believe this, but admission is free and parking is free. So what a great deal that is to be able to go to a show and be able to save your money to buy the yarn. They are offering lots of different work classes or workshops or classes. You can go onto their website, which is the Fiber Event at Greencastle. That's how I find it. And take a look at what it is that they have to offer. But they are, their classes include lace knitting, working on a triangle loom, mosaic slip stitching. I think that's really cool. You can get some really awesome color definitions when you're doing slip stitches. Basic spinning, rag rug weaving, double knitting, basket weaving, and dyeing with natural materials. So they have a really great variety of shows that there are, classes that they're offering at their show. I think it's a really great use of your time. So again, this is April 17th and 18th. It's a Friday and Saturday show. I forgot to put down what their hours are. Maybe I did that in my last show notes. Yes, their hours are 10:30 to 5 on Friday and 9 to 4 on Saturday. So it's if you're anywhere near Greencastle, which is in western Indiana, western central Indiana, it's a great opportunity for you to go there. The show that we're having after the Fiber Event at Greencastle is called Shepherd's Harvest. This is in St. Elmo, or Lake Elmo, Minnesota. It is just east of St. Paul. This is a really great show. We were there last year. They have some awesome barns set up and our big buildings. It's at the Washington County Fairgrounds. They always have this over Mother's Day weekend, so it is May 8th through the 10th. May 8th is where they've got classes. The 9th and 10th is when the vendors are there. They part of their show is they have a fleece competition and they have dog shows along with vendors selling everything. And this is a giant show. It is 4 buildings worth of vendors. Completely worth the time and trouble to go there if you live up in the upper Midwest. It's a really great show. Like I said, we were there last year. They were so very welcoming and so accommodating to vendors, and they've been around for a bit, so they know what it is that they're doing We were really happy to have been there. I'm very excited about going again this year. Last year we had a 10 by 10 booth, which is a standard size booth at any of these craft shows, but this year we have gone for a 10 by 20. So we're going to be able to bring all of our stuff, and we don't have to pick and choose because we don't have room for it. So it will be really great to be able to share all of the stuff that we're going to have at the show. So I'm really excited. So if you're going to be there, stop by, say hi, and let us know that you've seen our podcast, and take a look at what it is that we have to, what we have to share. So enough about passion yarns, although, as you know, this is my passion. It's the thing that I do. I think about it all of the time. I work at it all of the time. I put in a lot of hours to make sure or to do my very best to make sure that things are running smoothly and that we have everything that we need. I don't always do it right, but I fix whatever it is that I do wrong, that's for sure. So this week I wanted to talk about why knitting and crocheting is good for you. So the health benefits of being a fiber crafter. There are multiple benefits, and so I've just chosen a few that I found that I think really apply to my life and what it is that I've experienced over the years, and what I'm sure you as a crafter have experienced as well. If you're new at crafting, I would really recommend that you find your passion for this craft, because it makes a difference, makes all the difference in the world how your life runs. So one of the first things that we can say that about knitting and crocheting or any other kind of fiber craft is that it helps to relieve stress, and that's very true. I knit in the morning, I knit at lunch, and I knit at night or crochet, and that helps me to prepare for my day and helps to alleviate some of the stress of my day at work. According to an article that was in Psychology Today, they state that any repetitive motion can help to release serotonin, which helps to make you feel calmer. And when you feel calmer, your blood pressure is lower. So not only are you more relaxed and less stressful, but you also will find that your blood pressure will lower. The relaxation response is known to bring down blood pressure and heart rate and help to prevent a lot of stress-related illnesses. So that's, again, part of that article, that making sure that you are, when you're crafting, that these are the benefits that you're going to be getting. Another thing that they mentioned is that when you have a constant movement of your eyes from side to side for at least 30 seconds every day, it boosts your memory at 10%. I had no idea. I like have a memory of a horse, because that's all it is that I do. That was part of that article as well. And then another point that was made is that many chronically ill or disabled people who can't work, or those who are looking for work, can overcome a feeling of aimlessness simply by taking up knitting. My friend Barb mentioned recently that she's retired. She didn't have a lot of focus in her life, and picking up knitting again just recently has really helped to fill her days. She says that she starts knitting, and before she knows it, the day is over. So are those benefits again. So it relieves stress, it lowers blood pressure, it helps to boost your memory at least 10% if you're doing this eye movement side to side at least 30 seconds every day, and it helps to fill your time. Knitting is also very meditative. Meditation and stress relief go hand in hand. When you're doing something meditative, you're focused on the task without thinking about your problems. So you can concentrate on what it is that you're doing, especially if you're doing a pattern that requires you to count. You're going to be focusing on what it is that you're doing instead of all of the other things that might be going wrong or right in your life. Knitting can keep you socially active. Now, I have said before on my websites that I think that knitting can be a very solitary activity, because there are few people, when you're around, there are few people that who will share in your enthusiasm for the class. But there are different classes that you can go to. Check out your local yarn shop to see if they're having a class, or if they just have a knit night, a place where you can knit or crochet, a place where you can go and just share with your craft with other people, sit around, knitting in public is a good thing. That will gather a lot of people around you. They ask a lot of questions. What is it that you're doing? What are you making? I love your colors. There's a lot of things that people will say when you knit in public, because I do that all the time. And if you're arthritic, knitting will help to keep your fingers limber. That there's some good movement in your hand. And what the Arthritis Foundation says is that you should really approach knitting like it was a sport. So the idea being that it's going to be good for you to warm up and to keep your hands limber while you're while you're getting prepared to do your craft, which is knitting or crocheting. You want to warm up your hands before you start. And then it says if you stick with it, you're going to see some long-term benefits of the arthritic pain that you might be suffering from because you're using your hands more often. I think, though, the most important thing, the most important result of handcrafting is that creative outlet that you've got. You may or may not be designing your own projects. Even if you're just following a pattern, if you're choosing the colors that you'd like to use, and maybe you're modifying a pattern just a little bit, those are design elements that you're using, and so it's a good idea. It helps you to be more creative and to have a hand in what it is that you're doing. And I would always recommend that you give it a shot with design. There are videos on YouTube, there are websites all over the place that have offered varieties of patterns and or stitches and how those stitches work. Maybe go and find those stitches and design yourself a washcloth or something small, or maybe a scarf, and take the opportunity to get your creative juices flowing. I think the creativity of doing any kind of hobby, whether it's woodworking or painting or knitting or crocheting or any other kind of hobby, is that it puts into place that side of your brain that needs to have that creative outlet. So I think that not only is our handicrafts emotionally and physically beneficial, but they provide you with mental and creative benefits as well. So I hope that you keep doing the craft that is your craft of choice, and that you're reaping all of these benefits. And aside from that, when you're done, you end up with a tangible project. This is something that you can keep for yourself, and you can wear it so other people can see that you've done it, or you can give it as gifts to friends, or maybe you can provide it to a charity, like some of those that we talked about a couple of episodes ago, that really could use, for those people who really need it, could use the craft that you have provided for them. So that's about it for our talk about all of the benefits of being a handcrafter. And I hope that this has helped you to see not only the physical part of your stuff, of what it is that you're doing, but also all of the personal benefits that you're going to reap from it. So keep on crafting and enjoy what it is that you're doing. Okay, so we're going to move on to my works in progress. I've been really good this week. I did not start a new project, I promise. I dyed some yarn to start a new project, but I didn't start the new project yet. I decided I'm going to stop being so embarrassed by telling you people about telling everyone on the podcast about how I have started a new project and haven't finished the old ones. So I wanted to make sure that I let you know about that. So I did have a finished project I'm going to show you in just a minute, but I want to let you know about where we are with my works in progress. So the first one is the Mile a Minute Afghan. If you recall, I had said before that this is a strip. Let me show you what this is. This is the strip of the Mile a Minute. So we do the inside pink part and then go around the outside with the gray, and it ends up with a strip like this, and then we sew the strips together. Well, I had sewn one of the strips backwards, and so it was very unsightly. So I took that out, got it all put back together properly, and added some more stripes. So here we go. Here's where I am right now with my, actually, no, that's good. where I am with my mile a minute Afghan. Now I have 5 strips here. I have another one here to put on, and then I have the center of another one that I've completed. But this is nothing near to what it's going to have to be. I think I decided I had to do like 27, 28 strips or something to make it the Afghan that I'm hoping to make. So that's where I am with that one. This is again the mile a minute. These yarns are, the pink is the Super Saver, no, not Super Saver, the Red Heart Love in sweet pink, and the gray is Super Saver in charcoal. And I'm making this with a size J crochet hook. I just like the drape of it that way. So that is the mile a minute. There we are, that's one of them. The other one is the My First Sweater. I showed you this on the last episode. So far I have gotten the front section. This is the front section, and if you remember, I said this is really just a big giant rectangle that starts off with a 3x2 rib on the bottom. It's all stockinette through the rest of the front, the body of it, and then the front is the top is a broken rib pattern. So it is a knit one, purl one on one row, and knit the row on the second row. That gives you that broken pattern, that broken rib pattern on there. So I think it's really, really pretty on the top of this. This pattern has a 4-inch positive ease, which means it's going to be 4 inches around, bigger than me, which is fine because I think that's going to make it for a really comfortable sweater. There's no shapings. I have no waist shaping, no shoulder shaping, none of that stuff. So I'll make a second piece just like this, and then I'll do the sleeves will come off of here, but there'll be a drop shoulder sleeve. So the sleeves are not really too terribly long. And then it'll be just a matter of sewing up the side seam, sewing the shoulder seam, sewing the seam on the sleeve. And that's about it. So this is the first piece, the front, although they look the exact same, so it's not going to matter. And then this is the back. So I've done the ribbing so far and a little bit of the stockinette of this. I am using Hobby Lobby's, I love this yarn. It's an acrylic, it's so soft, and this colorway I believe is called medium blue. Medium blue. That's what it calls. So that is I love this yarn. And there's the pattern. I shared this with the ladies at my knit group, and some of them are really excited about doing it. I got to tell you the name of the pattern. It is called My First Sweater. It is a pattern by Marley Bird. You can find this pattern on the Red Heart website, and it's no cost, and it's a very simple. So if you're first starting out as sweaters and you've not made a sweater before, this one is really great. Like I said, no shaping, just a big rectangle for the front and the back. A little bit of, there's going to be some decreasing for the arm, because of course you're going to start up here and you're going to decrease down to the cuff, and then do the ribbing at the cuff. But it's such a pretty pattern. It's an easy pattern, and it's really pretty. It should fit nicely. So I'm looking forward to getting that finished. It is, again, Marley Bird is the designer for this. You can find this pattern on the Red Heart website, and it is called My First Sweater by Marley Bird. So the next thing I wanted to show is the temperature blanket. Now this is going to be, I'm going to stop showing it here pretty soon because it's going to get really boring. I just, maybe every once in a while, just to show you where we're at, since I'm just adding a row a day. But I wanted to show you again what my color choices are, and how I've determined what my temperature range is and which color I'm using. So this is just a little piece of paper that I put together to show what the temperature range is going to be, and then what color of yarn I'm choosing for that. So as you can see, we continue to be mostly blue. It's mostly blue, but lately we've had some nice warm weather, so that's where the green is coming in. Today is supposed to be like 60 degrees. That is crazy for March in the Midwest. It's just weird. It's just weird. So here we are with that. I'm not going to bore you with the temperature blanket a lot, but I just wanted to show you where I'm at. So this is all of January, all of February, and part of March. And again, this is going to be 97 inches long and 72 inches wide by the time we're done. So this is folded over 4 times. So kind of give you an idea about the size of this. So I like doing this. This is like one of the things I do first thing in the morning is I take a look at my phone and see what the projected high temperature is going to be, and then single crochet a row. I'm using scraps, so I went through my stash and pulled out yarn that I had on hand. So for me, this is a really great stash buster. And I'm using size J crochet hook on this. So I just have my J crochet hook sitting there on my counter for a lot of the projects that I'm doing right now. Okay, so those are my works in progress that I'm actively working on right now. Of course, there are other ones that I haven't touched in a bit, but we're not going to talk about that. But I think right here, we need to have balloons and confetti and massive cheering and lots of excitement, because I'm going to show you my finished pattern. This is my finished project. This is a pair of socks. I should have put them on the blockers. Oh, I didn't even think about that. This is a finished pair of socks. This is out of one of my dyed yarns. This yarn is called Loves Me Like a Rock. And I use the Hermione's Everyday sock pattern, which is a really simple sock pattern to memorize. And I love because there's a pearl stitch every once in a while in this, and how that pearl stitch makes those colors pop out and change, and it's just so pretty. And then there's what it looks like when it's just plain stockinette. So this is really great. I was like, woohoo, cheering, cheering, cheering. I have a finished project. I'm so excited that I finished one. Okay, so they're just socks, but it's a finished project, and it's one that I've been working on. So I took another skein of yarn that I have, and I started another pair of socks, because I like to have those on hand. That's the project that I do at lunchtime at work, or if I have to sit through mandatory meetings and I want something to do, I take my sock project with me, so it keeps my sock drawer full. Although I've not had to throw any away, I have felted some of them, so yeah, well, anyway. Oh, for those socks, I knit them on a size 2 circular needle, and I use magic loop on the socks, and I do just one at a time. I am a top-down knitter, a sock knitter. That's how I learned. I learned by watching videos on YouTube some time ago, and so I'm just comfortable with that pattern, and that's just the way that I do it. So it's top down with ribbing, and then the leg, and then I do a heel flap, and then I turn the heel, and then do the foot, and then decrease down for the toe, and do Kirchner stitch for the end of the toe. So that's how I do my socks. Okay, so we've got works in progress, finished project, yay! Moving on, I wanted to talk a little bit about the knitting group that I started. I said in my last video about having just spur of the moment, put on a post on the website Nextdoor, or it's more like a phone app, Nextdoor, and how I got such an amazing response. We started a Facebook group, and I have 15 members now on the Facebook group, including myself, and then there are a few people who don't have access to Facebook that we are contacting on Nextdoor. So it's amazing how much people really want to spend some time together and doing this kind of stuff. Is really great. We have a really awesome mix of both knitters and crocheters, although I think there are probably more crocheters than there are knitters in this particular group. And they're all ages. We have some young people, we have some older retired people, we have some folks who are still working, we have some people with children and with young children, and it's just been such a great time. I got sick last week, and so I wasn't able to be, you know, I'm so afraid of the coronavirus. I know I'm being a little bit ridiculous about it, but you know, I don't want to get sick, but more than anything else, I don't want to get anybody else sick if I happen to be sick. So I was not feeling well. I was not able to go to the last meeting. It kind of fizzled, but we're having our next meeting coming up here on March 11th at our local library, and I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody and getting it all back on track again. We talked a little bit about maybe doing some charity knitting, like for some of the groups that I had spoken about a couple episodes ago. And, you know, we had thought about maybe Project Lioness, because then everybody can make their own rectangles. There's Project Lioness likes to have a 7x9 rectangle that you can either put together into blankets and donate to them, or you could give them those rectangles for them to put together, for their volunteers to put together. So we had talked about maybe doing something like that. Nothing solid yet, but I hope that that's something that we're going to be able to do. And so I'm just really excited. I've made some new friends. It's really great. I mean, I had 14 new friends just like that. Boom. It's great. It's really great. So see, all the benefits to being a handcrafter is right there, right there. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the wedding. As of today, we are 159 days away from the wedding. And this all really struck home when a friend that we had invited had sent us confirmation of her flights. So she's going to be coming in for the wedding, and I went like, oh, we're having a wedding. I've been continuing to work on everything, mostly making flowers. I was able to put a whole lot of flowers onto the arch that I'm making, and it's looking really, really good. I tried to take some pictures of that. I'll try again and see if I can put some pictures in here for you to see what that looks like, because I'm very, very proud of it. But I have a lot more flowers to make. I need to decorate a lot more things with the flowers. The arch we have intertwined artificial vines in there, and then I hot glued the roses onto those with using a backing with felt. And I'll show you. I'll see if I can show you that. I was having some trouble getting pictures of it. It was maybe too dark in the basement. So we're going to use this as part of the ceremony, whether the kids stand under it or their officiant stands under it, or if it's back behind them. However it is that we do it, I'm really glad to be able to share some of this with my daughter for her wedding, and we're very excited about this coming up. And it seems like it was just yesterday that we were there when he got down on one knee and proposed to them, and now we're just, you know, we're less than 160 days away. It's just amazing to me, but I'm really excited about it. Okay, so I think that's everything for today. I did want to mention, though, that I do have some fans, and I'm pretty excited about these fans that have been watching my videos. That is my son, John, and my daughter-in-law, Kim, and their little girl, Vivian. Hi, guys. I love them so much, and it's so exciting. My son will text me and say, when is the next video coming out? He says, I don't understand anything that you're saying on them, but Mom, you look so cute. He's the sweetest boy. My other children are also watching, and I appreciate that, and some friends. And so if you're looking for a new podcast, or you know somebody else who's looking for a new podcast to get kind of a new perspective on this craft and maybe have a new source of yarn, share it with your friends. I would really love it if you would subscribe to my channel, and if you hit the bell so that you get notifications when we get these new videos up, and then share it with your friends. That would be awesome. I would like for there to be a pretty good group following this, and as I get closer to retirement, all of the things, my head is full of stuff that I want to do. So I would hope that I would get a good enough following to be able to do that. But again, John, Kim, Vivian, thank you so much. I love you very much. Last week, I mean, it may seem like if you're watching my videos now, it may seem like it was just a couple of days ago that the last episode was put up, because it was. I had a real headache with editing, and I had a new computer and new editing software, and everything was new. Nothing was working. It took me forever to get it all figured out, but I did finally. So it's just been a little over a week since that video has been posted, so this is going to seem like it's new, but I'm hoping to get this up and not have any of the technical issues that I had on the last video. But again, I just want to say thanks for hanging out with me and for being a part of our journey here at Passion Yarns and with Passion Yarns, the podcast. And I hope you enjoy it. Certainly, if you have any comments, I'm more than open to anything that you have to say. I love the constructive criticism or the pointers or tips that maybe would make things a little bit better, because you see it and I want to make sure that it's something that's entertaining for you. So again, thanks very much for being here with me. I hope you have a really, really great week, and we will see you next time on Passion Yarns, the podcast. Thanks. Bye.